Hello everyone, Jewelry Talk here today, wearing some of my favorite picks that I have on. Let's see who is coming in for the live this morning. Hello, nice to see you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm wearing some of my on the surface pieces here, a lot of on the surface, a lot of my gems. You know what I was thinking this morning as I was getting my adornment on? Hello everybody, good morning, nice to see you guys. Good morning. Nice. Hi. I was thinking that, it really is nice to be able to go through what wardrobe you have and pick out something different for how you feel. This is a lot of on my surface that's upcoming, and I realized that I haven't been showing a lot of gems or doing a lot of gems lately. I'm still totally in love with gems, especially the lemon quartz has been one of my favorites, really thinking and working on the chakras. Good morning. Nice to see you guys. Oh my gosh, very nice to see you guys. Hi. So this is Jewelry Talk, and I'm Susan Lennart, and this is all about kind of the softer side to jewelry, about the historical, about, just about how it's worn, why it's worn, how pieces are made. We also talk a lot about the technical parts here, but also about, really symbolism. The first piece of jewelry was discovered way back BC. And this piece is recorded, and it actually is recorded as with jewelry. It's the first way a human being has ever decorated themselves to express themselves. Think about it. In BC, clothing was worn for practicality. Like you grabbed whatever you could, you stitched things to be warm, you bought blankets, you got whatever you could, but clothing was for warmth. Not anymore. We all wear all kinds of stuff, but jewelry, so they found where someone literally had scratched some symbolism into a stone and got a hole through the middle and put it onto just like a cord. And it's recorded, jewelry is recorded as the first type of adornment that really was worn to express yourself in symbolism. So hey guys, we're all in jewelry. So how about that? So our group here, I'm going to talk right away about this new group that Christina and I were just talking about, and I'm always on. I'm always on, and I'm blah, 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 blah to you guys, telling you guys my stories, telling you guys just a lot of things. But we actually, hi Barbara, nice to see you. Oh my gosh, nice to see you guys. So Christina and I were talking, and some people already joined, and some people heard about this group. But in talking about jewelry holistically, not just the techniques. It's like we all have a lot of groups for techniques, but we just opened up, after really thinking about things, we just opened up a Facebook group for you, for everyone, where you can express yourself, you can tell your stories. I'm always telling my stories, and it's like in this community, I always look on people's Instagrams. If you're on mine or you make a comment, I'm always back and forth, and I love hearing stories. Well, this is called The Language of Jewelry, and it's a new Facebook site that I hope you guys, hi Mary Jo, I hope you guys want to join up for this. It's actually really interactive, where it's not just me, we can all get on and tell our stories, talk about our travels. Like we all know jewelry is about travel, and it's about absorbing different opinions and absorbing architecture. And in fact, I'll talk a little bit about that subject today. But this is called The Language of Jewelry, and it's my objective. Christine and I were talking about what is this platform about, So for me, it's like I really feel like I want to bring on people in the industry. There are people who do ethnographic jewelry, like I used to do. A lot of the repairs in the museums. There's just people behind the scenes that we never think about. There are always different artists that are brought in, just so many different artists like myself, who thinks about the technical side. But it's really fun to think about jewelry and adornment as an art form, and bringing in different mediums from all over. So if you guys want to, it'd be great. Hop on that site. I'll remind you at the end. But in talking about that subject, and talking about, so as jewelers, hi everyone, nice to see you. Nice to see you guys. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know, I just recently, I missed last Thursday, or I missed, I was away in Puerto Rico, where I love my family. We love to spend time in Puerto Rico. And I talked a little bit about it with my intentional metalsmithing group, but I was saying, you know, how important it is to do something a little bit different in your, okay, there's my profile. It's in my profile. So use my profile link if you guys want to jump into this new, it's a Facebook group, and it is called the Language of Jewelry, which I hope the name in itself, well thought out, you know, really kind of explains what this site is about. It's really interactive. I want to hear from you guys. You know, if you want to be on there telling your stories, and there's always people that are listening. It's like, I like hearing stories. You guys show up because you like to hear my stories. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I do on Jewelry Talk. So, you know, it's nice. I want to hear different stories too. So I think it'd be really fun. I'm going to be on there all week long, just kind of checking it out. I also have a workshop this weekend. Yay! I've got people coming into my studio. So I've been here kind of resetting up for a group. Where do I put pickle pots? Where do I put polishers? You know, where is everybody sitting? So it's been really fun. I'm so looking forward to having people in my studio. I haven't had it for quite some time, you know. So a year ago maybe was the last time I had people in my studio. So I was working to get it all ready. So anyway, that's this weekend. So in the subject I was talking about with the language of jewelry, I'm studied as an artist, and I have learned to be a silversmith. So it's like I love, you know, giving a heads up to the Algerian jewelry or Turkish jewelry. Recently, on the surface is really my work that's kind of done studying a culture and, you know, really honoring this culture. Turkey, the Middle East area, just Afghanistan. Oh my gosh, the jewelry there, it's just beautiful. So it's all of this on the surface work. Some of it is large. Here's a couple of other pieces that are, you know, a little bit smaller, but just kind of a version that I did from, these are flat, one-sided, and they're just, you know, kind of a takeoff with shapes, nice and flat. I like doing hollow forms too, hollow forms. But, so, you know, with visits, it's like, I know you guys know we're doing a trip to Morocco. So this was Moroccan inspired and going that direction. Sometimes, you know, when studying as an artist, I learned information that I thought was really interesting for jewelers. You know, I come from a little bit different way. I'm thinking a right brain artist. My intentional metalsmithing course is really about training as a jeweler through an artist's brain, you know, and it's like, oh my gosh, some people love it and some people are like, what? You know what I mean? So really it's like, I like the torches we use because the torches allows you, you know, these aren't so hot. They allow you to be able to even get into your right brain and do some creativity or put things together. You know, it's definitely a lot about the assembly. The Facebook course is a lot about assembly and style and finish and stories that go with your piece of jewelry. And, you know, all of this that all of us love as artists, really looking at as an art piece. You know, I like to put together, well, not me. This is from my buddy Matt. He puts these together for our group. So I'm going to have some of these up soon too. But these, you know, jewelry holders, where this piece moves, I've got some, you know, this gets mounted on a wall and you really can hang with shadow or earrings or long necklaces or anything that you'd like to. You know, for me, a piece of jewelry is a lot about light, shape, form as an art piece. So, you know, I had on there some ring holders, some jewelry holders. This is one where it could be earring holders or it could be necklace holders, and you know, just with the filigree and the detail work, I love it. So you guys will get to see things like this just in display. So that's what we talk about here, is how to display our pieces, how to make them look fabulous. Now, I know you guys all get this in the mail, right? Our house, you guys love our house. So one of the cool things, hi Madeline, nice to see you. Oh my gosh, thank you guys for joining me. So, you know, one of the cool things, usually if I get catalogs in there from boring places, Uline, sorry, we order Uline, but you know, it's not very exciting and it takes up your whole mailbox. You know, I'm always like, oh man, you know, and the paper that it uses up, and it comes every couple months. When this comes in, I incorporate this into my life, because when you look, and many people know this, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. I used to do visual display for Nordstrom many years ago when I was in my 20s. It was a lot like interior design. It's a lot like assembly. It's where you spatially are putting in negative and positive space and moving things around in different ways. The visual display. You know, I had the men's area and the home area. So those were my areas. I didn't do women's fashion. I never considered myself in women's fashion. So it's so funny that I always ended up in women's fashion. So, you know, I love the study of it. You know, it's almost like by the time you get it all on and you get to take a picture, I'm done. You know, I don't need to walk around in it. So anyway, the reason I loved the art house, I wanted to bring it in because when you're studying in art school, you know that when styles or colors or shape or form get into the interior design world, get into this world, it is going to be there for 7 years. I do have pictures of my past work. Oh my gosh, I've been a jeweler for so long. I have slides. We used to do slides. I'll have to send them to you. I'll have to pull some of them out. But you know, so one of the things that we know is that if it gets into it, when a look gets into interior design, it will last 7 years. What does that mean to us as jewelers? Well, that actually means that you could get your cues from going into an art house or walking into, you know, any place. Like, okay, it is a little commercial. I usually do my finish up work in being inspired by our house or anthropology, you know, the way things are decorated in the stores. It's like, you know, that was your dream job when you were in college. Oh my gosh, Christina, right on. We're so like on the same page. So it's like when you are, you know, going into these stores, it's like you're finished and you're polished. So you know, it's like some of the workshops that we do here. People are coming into Cleveland. We're raw here. I'm in an industrial building. You can't help but to do caging when you get into Chicago and into Cleveland and, you know, caging in this industrial type of look. You can see where 10 years ago, was probably getting to be about the end of it. For about 10 years, I was going out to Paris and teaching in Paris, and not to lessen Paris in any way, but Americans were obsessed. Like, that was the dream place to go, was Paris. So we all went to Paris. We looked at all the architecture, and we kind of brought in this really cool kind of shabby chic into our jewelry, right? Because that was popular. Now we're, oh, thank you, I will. Oh my gosh, thank you. Great, I'll have to keep my eye out. I definitely will. When now going to Morocco, we're going to Morocco, you know, here and in March, and we'll see India. There's so much influence coming in. Actually, Morocco is the #1 area when people feel safe to travel. We're going, you know, we're hoping it'll get better. We're still invited in. We stay together in a group. They speak French, go figure. But, you know, I'm interested in going to Morocco to soak in everything with, you know, there, seeing all the colors of spice, looking at the architecture, looking at shapes and cuts and all of this. And, you know, if I just go in and observe as an artist, it will naturally, without any force at all, I can go home and just incorporate this. It'll be naturally incorporated into my own work. So if I think I'm doing on the surface work now, you know, I'm just really looking forward to seeing how my work will get more sophisticated in that direction, and the students that are there too. If you can't go to Morocco, hey, you know, there's a lot of people that aren't traveling. It's like, really, going into these type of stores are so inspiring. You know, I used to be the one that put together all the stuff in Nordstrom to make you walk into the home area and have a feel, to make you walk in the men's area and have a feel for what it feels like, you know, in there. You got to learn French to prepare for Morocco. Yay! Oh my gosh, how amazing is that? I'm hanging out with you. So, you know, in our house, if you look at this book now, it's like there was just a big change in the last year. I have one here. I'm always going in. It was industrial for so long. And now when I go in, you're seeing all these golds and you're seeing all these laces, just like we're kind of getting the cue to put into our work, is all these laces. A lot of trees, a lot of water. And I'm like, wow. And when I first opened it up, I was like, what are they selling? There's just a lot of trees. Even if you're in the city, there's trees, white furniture, naturals. I remember in the 90s, I was doing the American Craft Council in Baltimore, and I was doing SOFA in Chicago, which was really exciting. It's in October. But it was in the 90s when these naturals were so hot and so in style back then in the 90s. It's like everyone was doing neutral naturals and then popping in. I think for a while it's been like this kind of a white background with these gem colors popped in, you know, so that's been really fun to see. But the woods, you know, even if you look at the models and you can see, the model is dressed exactly like, you know, the furniture. So it's all these, you know, natural, all going back to natural. You can see a lot of people are moving from the cities into places that are farther away, you know, into the country because we can. A lot of people are working out of their house now, you know. So, you know, all these little filigree lines and colors, you know, and just the simplicity or lines or swirls are on mirrors and things like that. So we know, you guys, we know as jewelers, or now you guys know, that, you know, if you want inspiration, if you're feeling, you know, someone asked me yesterday, how can they be inspired if you're kind of at a dry spell? You know, I love looking at, hi Nan, I love looking at numerology, you know, which is pretty cool. I'm like, oh, you're in this kind of a year, you're in this year. But so it's, so anyway, oh, I'm just getting news. Okay, so anyway, you know, if you want to be inspired, if you're not going to Morocco, if you're not going to Mexico, if you can't get out of the country, you know, we're having a little bit of trouble traveling now. So, you know, just find a way to walk through these stores when they're refreshed. We kind of need these, you know, we order everything online and we get to look at these pictures, but it's really nice. She goes to art galleries and museums if you feel drained. That's a great way to be inspired, you know. When you go in, you sometimes you specifically can, you know, love a silhouette and be like, I'm gonna go home and, you know, do a silhouette like this. But sometimes you just walk in and you just kind of absorb the beauty of it into your subconscious, into your body, and trust yourself that it will come out in a good way later. Does that make sense? We've got the Van Gogh coming through here, and I'm going September 28th. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. I want to see a new way that we can look at Van Gogh work. You know, we're used to seeing it all over. So this might be fresh, really fresh. We'll see. I was just going to say something else. Well, you know, it's like for me, I have a lot of white in here. Oh, even the chandeliers were different in here, which is interesting. They're more squared off, and you know, I still love my chandeliers the way my chandeliers are, you know. I've got a nice chandelier here. Here, I'll get the photo out. And I've got a nice, there's my nice chandelier. That's huge. It fits a space. I've got a lot of nice plants in here. I still have my window, but you know, you can see I got my plants. There's my table set up for everybody. We're going to be right over here. We've got really good lighting there. We've got natural lighting. So, I think it'll be a fun weekend. So that'll be good. Oh, books give you, oh my gosh. So books, you guys, books, and even sitting in the library and looking at books. What I brought out for myself in thinking about teaching a workshop. So I'm going to talk, I want to talk to you guys, say Cabin French. Oh, pre-code. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, nice. Thank you for all your guys' input here. Cave. Okay, I thought it was cave. Yes. But I was like, I'm not going to read that one out loud. Oh, but don't worry about it. Listen, Barbara, we're going to see each other soon. You know, I actually probably will have another one next year, or we'll see, maybe in the spring. I'm not exactly sure yet. You know, we'll see. I think it's going to be fun. I put out a lot of books. I got rid of, I know, you know, we get to a certain point and I got rid of so many books. I had a huge library in my last house that was so inspirational, and now I moved into a smaller space, so I had to get rid of a lot of my books. You saw it in France. Nice. And I actually have a lot of the Morocco books out. I have Egyptian books out. I have a lot of books like that. Also Native American Indian books. I've got African books. I've got all kinds of books, because for me, in thinking about a workshop, you guys, one of the things, and if anyone teaches a workshop, I kind of want to talk just a little bit about, since I have one coming this weekend, and we'll see. First of all, it's like, I love when I can get people out of their element. We work at home. You guys work with intentional metalsmithing in the privacy of your home, where you can make mistakes with yourself. You can do all these different things. But what I love for a retreat, which I feel like is important, once in a while, is to get people out of their element. You got there, you maybe took a wrong turn, you're sweating, you're hot, you're this, you're that. Get people out of their element. You're in a whole new element. You've got new people around you. It's a brand new energy. I know, you guys know, we know, our energy affects each other. So it's really important for me. One of the things that I do when I teach a workshop is hold the energy in the classroom. And it's so interesting because, when you hold an energy or put an energy there's many times where I told my intentional metalsmithing people that I put a white light just around the group. I feel like it really does good for the group that comes in. When my people are here, I come in early. I usually do my sage, but not with sage. I do it with just an incense, and I, kind of really create a lightning bolt of light around the area. And I think of the people that are coming in, because I need people to come in and be able to work together still, in a shorter amount of time. So for me, it's like I'm holding an energy. I'm keeping things open. So if people said, oh, hello. Oh, hi, CMD. Hi, Dawn. Nice to see you. Oh my gosh. I miss you, Sandy. So, and Sandy was in Mexico with me. So that's one of the things that I like to do, is have people because not that I want you to be out of your element and uncomfortable, but uncomfortable creates growth. When you're uncomfortable, it creates growth. There's no other way to slip in growth unless you're a little bit uncomfortable. You're sitting next to someone that maybe you don't know at all, so it's really interesting. And then you kind of get this light going and you talk a little, and the first day everyone is exhausted at the end of the day. Usually then we come in the second day, people are on fire, we get so much done. If I have a 5-day workshop, by the third day, people are burned. Like they're either the third or the fourth day, but usually the third. So I usually put my real heavy schedule on the first 2 days. The third day, people get nothing done. Like just kind of, I pretend like we're doing a program, not in a 3-day workshop. People will push themselves for the third day, but for 5, it's like people are fried, and it's kind of like this time where I usually put up a lighter itinerary, let people finish things up, kind of put just a nice gentle light around, do a lot of detoxing and breathing, and then the 4th day they can come in and be on fire. And then the 5th day is like wrap up. So, you really have to watch the flow of things when you're working in your studio, you're working in your, in a workshop. I just actually a couple weeks ago, I took a 5-day yoga retreat, but it was home on Zoom. Oh my God, I loved it so much. I can tell you, we did all of this breath of fire, which, I want to use we'll see. Maybe we'll use it in Mexico. We'll see, or maybe in Morocco. It's like literally, I don't know, have you guys done the breath of fire in yoga? It clears out your subconscious. So if you have things floating around in your brain and you're trying to be in the moment and you've got your mind going all over the place, you do this breath of fire and your subconscious, you might end up blowing up, which is why I'm saying I might not do it this weekend. I ended up on the phone with my sister-in-law and we got into it about a subject, and I was like, I didn't mean for that to happen. It just, your stuff comes out, I talk a lot about the breath and the breathing and, how I incorporate yoga into my work and into intentional metalsmithing. So it's just a lot of little things like that. So when you guys, when people come into, like today, this is the day before a workshop, we're all kind of gently thinking about it, it's out there in the ether. So that with our group, when you guys know this course is opening today, I try to tap into all this because then I kind of know what I'm going to talk about. Sometimes I show up and don't even know what I'm going to talk about, or I change the subject completely when I get on. So, it's really interesting with energies and things like that, and jewelry. So, in doing your jewelry, doing your artwork. So I hope that makes sense. And So the only, I want to say something else is that you bring more of yourself to yourself. We bring more of ourselves to ourselves by the breath work, and then by standing in front of your bench and doing your own work, you bring more of who you are to your work. So even if I'm doing Algerian work or Egyptian work, we don't want to culturally appropriate. We don't want to take someone else's cultural work. We want to make it our own. So we can use the philosophies behind it on the surface. But my expectations when I see people and see work is that we are adding in our own flair. Copy it once, and then we add in our own styles, our own shapes, our own, this actually is pretty traditional to a shape in Algeria, but it's like, oh, what other shape would I do, So stay in the moment, you guys. Stay in the moment when you're in your work. The breath work gets you there. And there was one more thing. Oh, let things be. Here's one other important thing that I have found, and I remind myself, this is what I'm working on recently, is be okay with yourself. Like when you make a mistake, be okay with yourself. When you do something you didn't want to do, when I show up and I'm exhausted and make a fool out of myself talking on Jewelry Talk, it's like I have to get off and be like, you know what, Susan, you're okay. I'm proud of you. You were brave. You know what I mean? So we always have to let ourselves be okay. And sometimes I'll find little judgments like piling up, and then I'm like, whoa, wait a second. I'm okay. Be okay. Because if you're not okay, that leads to aberrations of the mind. If you are okay, it leads to happiness. And, just being able to do your clear, good work. Make sense? Okay, good, okay. Yay, okay. So I want to tell you guys that not this weekend I'm doing the workshop. Next weekend, I have just gotten all these gorgeous components from India. I also have a lot of other handmade components that will be up on the 24th of September. And yay, okay. Oh, good, thank you, I'm so glad. Sometimes I get on and I just talk and I'm like, I don't know. Are you guys, it's just always, it's like, I feel like your health and wellness and being an artist is an everyday work every day. You can wake up some days like, yippee, I am so good. I'm going to feel like this forever in front of my bench. I'm brave. I'm good. I'm out there. I'm successful. I'm this, I'm that. But it's like there's going to be another day where you wake up and you're not okay. Like you're off balance or your life is going too fast or something hectic happens. So it's like this is really our daily work, is to wake up and find a way to be okay. So there's Christina. She put that up. Shop Tools of the Nomad. There's going to be components. I'll show you guys some made, during the week on September 24th. And then I have all my new jewelry going up, guys, on September 25th. So I have my new jewelry going up. They're pretty cool. I'm really excited about this new look. And so I wanted to remind you guys again, I'd love to have you guys join the language of jewelry. If you're interested in all this other side that we talk a lot about in intentional metalsmithing, this, when I was studying objects from all over the world, talisman and objects, I found, I was an atheist at the time. I was in my 20s kind of researching what type of religion what's for me, and I was letting go of what I was believing. And when I searched all over the world and found ancient components and all these artwork, at the base of everything is spirituality or religion, beliefs. It's what our symbolism comes from. It's what, all of the belief systems that we build from. So it's like what we're doing in intentional metalsmithing is kind of cracking into this core, and just being like, yep, we believe it. We're artists, we're jewelers, but we believe at the core of this is going to help people in their world and their life. So the language of jewelry is about you, because I want to start hearing your stories. I'm going to start interviewing people like Michelle from Morocco, who's our tour guide. Maybe when I'm out in Morocco, maybe we can sit side by side. A lot of times it'll be, in different ways in there, but I'm going to be out in Morocco. I leave October 15th, so maybe towards the end of it, we'll get on, we'll do, I'll ask her some questions, and you guys can hear about her story. She's a handbag, she designs handbags, so I thought that'd be a really fun one to start with, and we have all kinds of exciting people on our plate, so So, all right, you guys. Also, there's a $100 gift certificate and a $50 gift certificate if you jump on to Language of Jewelry or sign up with your email, and then I have 2 gift certificates. You can use it anytime. It doesn't expire, but if you want jewelry, you can use it for the jewelry. If you want components, that goes up to September 24th. You can use it for that, or you can use it for gems. You can use it for anything you guys want. Does that make sense? All right, you guys. So Christina put that up. I'll see you guys next Thursday. I'll be wearing some of the jewelry that I'll have. I'll be showing you guys some of the components, and I'll have a fresh new subject, okay? I'm going to be getting on to Language of Jewelry all this week. So Christina and I both. So, all right, you guys. Oh, thank you. And I want to hear yours too. I'm always like, blah, 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 right? The giveaway will be open through Sunday. Thank you. So the giveaway. So sign up before then. Oh, thank you, Madeline. You guys have a good weekend. I'm going to have my class here. Yay. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Mwah. Love ya. And we will connect soon.